Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Council President. Colleagues, the city suffered a huge loss on recently on May 11th. Not all of you knew him, but for those of you who have been here for a while, I'm sure you have fond memories of our friend David Lee Lara. A few weeks ago, when we had his brother Frank here for his retirement, it was at that point that some of us learned that David was dealing with a medical condition. If you were lucky enough to know Dave, you knew Dave was a person who always had a smile on his face. Dave was one of those people that when you ran into him, always asked about your family. Dave was that person when you needed something to get done in building and safety, he was the person you turned to, and you knew that even in the rare times that he could not come through for you, you knew that Dave did everything in his power to get it done. Dave's whole life was built on relationships. He was just someone that when you saw him, even if you had nothing that you needed from him, he brought a smile to your face. And I don't know if he has a distinction. After the City Hall was refurbished, all council went on the 4th floor, and so it's all council offices except for one small office that was occupied by David Lara. And it was great because it was always located right near Council District 12, so I always was able to see him and pass him in his small little office right near the meeting room. Dave was born on March 5th, 1959 in Los Angeles, California. As I said, he passed away on May 11th, 2024. He is survived by his wife, Roxy Campos Lara, and his daughter, Hannah Grace Lara, along with many other friends and family who are behind us. Dave began his career with the City of Los Angeles by joining the Department of Building and Safety on March 23rd, 1981. He retired from Building and Safety on February 17th, 2017, after 36 years of service. During his long and distinguished city career, Dave served in numerous roles and capacities in which he utilized his vast technical knowledge and land use development and all aspects of building and safety, including building department administration, case management, building inspection, plan check, code enforcement, and the permit process, and his extensive relationships to best serve the city and its residents. Of his many accomplishments, several stand out as examples of Dave's ability to make things happen. He led the publicly heralded LA Department of Building and Safety's case management unit for over 9 years of his city career, now identified as the Development Services Case Management Division. This highly successful landmark development process tool, consisting of both plan check engineers and inspectors, which exists still today, is due in large part to Dave's proactive leadership, initiative, and strategic vision. Notably, Dave served as the Building and Safety's Chief of Government Affairs, as the liaison to the mayor and the city council for over 15 years, from 1998 to 2013, providing critical support for the mayor and the council offices to our constituents, that he was always advocating on behalf of Building and Safety's legislative and budgetary initiatives. Dave was also appointed to Department of Building and Safety's Public Information Officer for almost a decade, from 2006 to 2017, as media relations spokesperson, representing one of the largest city departments. Dave brought strategic media communications experience and a friendly, collected demeanor to this assignment. His involvement and engagement spanned additional arenas in which he was able to use his professional experience and skills. He served for a decade on the board of directors of the Los Angeles Professional Managers Association, a bargaining unit within SEIU Local 721, representing professional managers across city departments. He also served on the Whittier Planning Commission, bringing his construction and land use experience and decision-making abilities to meet the city of Whittier's goals, and on the Washington Boulevard Light Rail Coalition. After retirement, Dave started a consulting and government advocacy firm focused on helping clients using his signature can-do attitude, and problem-solving approaches. If you would allow me, I'd like to invite Dave's brother, Frank, to just share a few words about his brother.
Good afternoon, Council President, fellow council members, and thank you so much, Councilmember Lee, for honoring Dave. You did such a great job, really going through his all of his achievements and what he accomplished with the department, and obviously he had a 36-year, years of service with the department, so he was, really outstanding during all that time. I stood here in front of this council a few weeks ago because of my retirement, recognition of my retirement, and I spoke of our 70-year family legacy. That was my father, my mother, Dave, and I. But I must say that Dave had the most significant contribution of our family members. With his 36 years of service and the influence that Councilmember Lee mentioned, as a senior manager with our department, I think David's influence really stood out from the rest of us. Councilmember mentioned that he did serve as the liaison for this council for over 15 years. During that time, he developed a reputation for being highly approachable and a master at using his networking and people skills to get things done and resolve whatever complicated problems council members and staff would bring to him. David became known as the person to go to at building and safety, and I'm going to say he was one of our most prominent managers that we've had. He also served as the president of LADBS. I think he did a term or so. He was 4 years. And used his skills, his communication, and his organization skills to coordinate the agreements between our city's top managers that LADBS represents and the budget custodians of the city to satisfy most of the parties involved and really enhance the manager contributions and efficiency. David was retired for 7 years, really enjoyed that time with his wife Roxy, his daughter Hannah, and so many family and friends that truly loved him. He did a lot of volunteer work in the city of Whittier, where he lived for a period of time, was very active in his church, and also stayed busy with his consulting business. Dave's sudden passing has been so tragic to our entire family, especially his wife Roxy, who was by his side during most of this very challenging hospitalization. But we do appreciate this council's recognition as another great accomplishment of Dave's life, and it will add to the many memories that we cherish about him and reinforce our conception of him as a significant pillar in all that he was involved in, and an icon to the people who loved him and loved to spend time with him, because he made everyone feel significant and happy when they were around him. So again, thank you very much, council members.
Thank you, Frank. And Roxy,
Yes.
just, we're adjourning in his memory, but we I'm so glad that you could be here to see just how much we love Dave and how much we respected him, and just appreciate all of his years of service. He was an amazing man that I'm sure you obviously already know about, but we wanted to let you know, while he's just one person, he meant so much to so many people. And so thank you for being here today, all the friends and family. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, and I'd like to call on Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, and Roxy and Frank and the entire family. My condolences. Dave did earn a reputation, and it was a great one. And I remind everybody that, with each action, it's an opportunity to earn a certain type of reputation. And if you were going to Dave Lara an issue, that means you were going to solve it. You were going to figure it out. You were going to make something happen. And I had the benefit of, as a young staff member, getting to watch him and he was the go-to. And, more people need to learn how to be that in an era where so much of that has been lost. People get mired in what is so complicated and, we can't figure it out. There's actually very simple solutions oftentimes. And I think it was his approach to just finding a problem, or being, presented with a problem, and just, it was always just so easy for him to navigate. And again, he did so by action, not by sitting on trying to find, belabor an issue. And so for that, he made the city better. He was doing it at a time when our city, as a result of that, saw tremendous growth. And so I attribute it to people like Dave, who had the ingenuity, had the skill, had the understanding of what this institution can do to move mountains to make things happen. That's what his legacy is. And it's sprinkled throughout the city of Los Angeles. It's sprinkled throughout the skyscrapers and every major development in the city, because he was here during those very pivotal years when, people like Mayor Hahn, Mayor Reardon, everyone counted on his leadership to do that. And so many members of this council. And I'm so grateful that I had an opportunity to call him a friend and to watch him be that person for so many staff members, myself included. And so I had learned of how he had taken ill just before we honored you, Frank, for your retirement and all your many years of contributions to our city. But my condolences on your loss, and he was a great individual that did a lot for this city. And we need more Dave Laras in the city of Los Angeles. May he rest in peace.
Thank you very much. Very well said. And I think, for all of us who had the pleasure of working with Dave, he was the guy who could kick down doors and get things done and get to yes. And if he couldn't, you knew that there was nothing left. Yeah, at least we had the confidence to know, no really does mean no. So as Councilmember Rodriguez says, his legacy can be seen in projects all across this city. And as people drive around Los Angeles, they may not know it, but they're seeing Dave Lara in every corner of the city. But for all of us who got to work with him, being that go-to guy can be an incredibly difficult, grueling job, because you're being beat on by council members on a daily basis. You're having to beat your head against what seems like concrete walls within our city's bureaucracy. That can be draining and difficult. And yet, almost miraculously, I can't recall a time when I saw Dave where he wasn't smiling, warm, friendly, as though he was counting his blessings every single day just for being able to do this work. And I hope that we all can have just a little bit of Dave Lara's attitude about our work and pride in our work, because it really was inspiring. So his legacy can be seen in buildings, for sure, but his legacy can also be seen in the memories that all of us who had the privilege of working with him will have of that warmth and that friendliness and that commitment. And so we're indebted to your entire family for sharing Dave with us, and we want you to know that we all embrace you in our condolences and our best wishes as well.
I apologize, Council President. If Dave's brother-in-law wanted to just say something really quick.
Hi, good afternoon, City Council. Well, we just want to thank you for all your well wishes. I had the privilege of meeting Dave some years back, and after he retired, and we became very close over that time. We became brothers, not just friends. And I can recall many conversations over the years how proud Dave was with working with the city, all the stories he had. He actually was one of those individuals that took pride in what he did. He took pride in working in partnership, in conjunction with other city members, and really always tried to do his best. And he'd sit there and I'd say, okay, Dave, what else? And he keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. But, you know, now hearing all of this, I understand, you know, his conviction. I understand that, you know, it was not a job, it was his life. It was more than a career, it was who Dave was. And I always admire Dave for that because, you know, Dave didn't do 10%, 20%. He didn't even do 100%. He did 150% on everything that he did. And he championed many of his prospects. And for the ones he did it, and he says, hey, I did the best I can, and just move forward. And this is what I'm hearing today. So I just wanted to say that, you know, Dave loved being here. The stories that he's told us multiple times was, you know, stories that only few can convey, and be proud of those stories and actually have fond memories of retiring, as opposed to hearing, you know, the nightmares of retiring and so forth, or you hear from many other people. So on behalf of the family, I just want to say thank you to each and every one here. We duly appreciate giving us the opportunity to come and express our thoughts and the thoughts that you've had and the blessings and the condolences. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, colleagues. May Dave Lara rest in peace.
Thank you so much.